Hello, and welcome to the church office.
We're glad you're here. That is right, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Okay, I really thought that was right. It's not. We're glad you're here.
I tell you what, you delivered it with such confidence, though. The confidence that you
Well,
delivered
I don't know what
with.
it is then, because that's.
Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like the confidence, though. I think what we've determined now, just whatever you say, it's a good way to go through life.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Just we tell when folks volunteer to read for us. If you've ever been asked to read at church and you come across the name that's hard to pronounce.
Oh yeah, keep going. Just
plow through it. Say
pick
it
something and
confidently.
go.
Yes, exactly. Pick a lane. And then go. Another thing from last night. All right. Yeah. Hey, we're actually not in the church office.
Right.
If you know CTK, you know that we are in the gym.
Yep.
And we're in the gym for a reason, which we will get to here in a second. First of all, we got some business to take care of. The first thing that I'd like to do is thank everybody who put on the Have a Heart fundraiser.
That was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. We had a great time. We were able to raise just over $4,000 for our ministry there in the Care Point of Guatemala.
Yeah.
And obviously that goes a long way with what we're trying to do there, make a difference in that part of the world. So thank you so much. And if you were able to attend, I hope that you had a good time. The organizers told me that numbers were kind of up 15% from last year.
Okay,
you got
that's
about
good.
15% more attendance. And if we can just build on that every year, I think that's really it's such a nice fellowship event.
Yeah, it's just fun hanging out together.
Event, just hanging out.
Everything was great. It was dinners there and
food,
music, and it was awesome.
Oh yeah, and a big shout out to Joel and Sarah Sherrard.
Right.
All right, provided some music for us. That was very good.
Yeah, and I told you I'd never heard them or Joel play at all, boy, was I blown away at the talent. I mean, it was so much fun, and they were so good.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you believe, as you listen to Joel play the guitar, very talented guitar player, that he was once the president of the Southgate Rotary Club?
Really?
Or Downriver Rotary? Yeah.
No,
Renaissance
wouldn't believe
man,
that.
PJ. No, would not.
I mean, if you told me, now that you tell me, I believe.
Oh yeah, you can
believe
see
you because of your character, but just the facts don't add up. Yeah.
All right, if we're coming up, just a fantastic week. It's been a really fun week here at CTK with the education fair.
Yeah.
If you're able to join us last Sunday at church, it is just a wonderful celebration.
It was fun.
Kids did a great job. If you didn't get a chance to you can catch up with it. It's online. It's recorded.
Yes, the service is recorded.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Moving into the Lenten season, and so we do have some of these available out at the Welcome Center, just little accordion style. It'd be great for family devotions.
Yeah.
So we got a bunch of these, one per family. Make sure you pick one of these up. The other thing that I wanted to promote, or at least mention, is our high school youth have a fundraiser that is coming up. Now, this is what you'll find. You will find this tube of M&Ms, or I guess of it. PJ, are you a candy guy? Are you like...
I'm not a big candy guy.
Not either.
You know how
So set those right there.
Yesterday, my son, Zeke, who's in third grade, Gina Davidson told me this. I didn't know any of this was happening, but Zeke went up to get his M&Ms. He thought, oh, we're handing out M&Ms. I'm going to be a part of that.
Okay, we're handing out M&Ms. I want in on that.
He thought this was the children's message giveaway, I think. and so, Gina explains to him what it is, and he said, and she said, well, if you go home with those M&Ms, your dad's probably going to know where you got those M&Ms. And he stopped and thought about it, and you think, yeah, I think he probably would figure out where I got them. So then he put them back, and so I did get our family tube. I think my children have eaten the M&Ms, but it's going to be my responsibility to,
replace it with change. So that's the point. That's kind of the idea. So it was just good to see with Zeke that the law is doing its work.
Yeah, that's right.
That's great. Good
Levi, I'm not sure.
Well, the law has many functions. It might be more of a curb like when it comes to that young man.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you take this home, you eat the M&Ms, it's going to leave you an empty tube that we're asked, and then you fill it with change.
Yeah.
You got change around.
Bills are also, you can stuff
you put bills in there too?
Yeah, I think that's what we don't have a lot of change around the house anymore.
That's why it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because, so my kids don't even have cash anymore.
Nope.
Nobody carries cash anymore, which is, so I heard though, if you put 14 quarters in here,
that's what fills it?
If you put all quarters in here, it's $14. That's what it was.
Oh, $14.
All quarters equals $14.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do that. But
okay, cool.
Anyway, so it's just kind of a fun little way to do that. But I'm with you, PJ. I'm not a big candy person.
Yeah.
But if you told me, all right, Jay, here's a can of Pringles.
Yeah.
All right, once you finish these Pringles, which I could finish. If I had to, I could eat the Pringles in the time that we're doing this episode of the church office. And then fill that up with change. That's going to be That's gonna
Gina, you might be thinking too small with the M&Ms. Pastor Jay's ready to fill up a can of Pringles with change.
If it's an excuse,
It would
to
weigh
eat,
about
if
8 pounds. I
If
think.
it's an excuse to eat all the Pringles, that's my weakness is Pringles. So that's what I go to. All right. And a big shout out to our friends at White Furniture. I got the mug there.
Yeah.
PJ, this is a good cup of coffee that I have a legit, really good cup of coffee because I went with the Keurig in my office.
Which has been a battle for you.
I figured out the ratio. It's been a while.
To get the Keurig right.
It's been man versus machine.
Yeah.
I think I figured out the ratio. So this is a delicious cup of coffee.
And I don't mean any offense to the Keurig people, but I do prefer church coffee over.
Well, it all depends on what you put in there. I mean, that's kind of what.
Just any church coffee. I love all.
We got plenty of that right now. All right. So, why are we here in the gym? Here's the thing that you guys don't know about Pastor Brooks. I've kind of been holding on to this little piece of information for a while because I love it. Pastor Brooks is continuing in the long line of associate pastors / parents of their kids here in school, kind of joining the coaching team of one of our sports athletic teams. And PJ, like myself, when my daughters were in this 5th and 6th grade age, I too kind of joined the team. I was a JV girls basketball coach. Did my 4-year stint with that.
Yeah. And
you are helping our coach explain your position there.
Yeah. So
with our awesome head coach.
So Mike Caltis is the head coach. I don't know anything about coaching. So I'm the assistant coach, and I think I'm a pretty good assistant coach. I could not fulfill the duties of the head coach though, because I would have no idea what to do. But Mike he legitimately has talent and gifting in this area of coaching. And boy, I'm having the time of my life. This is the 2nd year now, and it's basically our same girls for the 2 years. It's almost an identical team.
Yeah, right. It is right
for the last 2 years, and it has just been so much fun. We lost every game last year and had a blast, and we've won almost every game this year and had a blast. And so it's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
And the girls are learning the game at that age. That's kind of what I remember. And I've watched some of your games as well. And you kind of got to teach them a number of things. No, you have to dribble.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking. I mean, sometimes they forget to dribble
because things that they 15 years later they say the same. I watched one of your girls do the same thing. One of mine, they had the ball out of bounds. You're supposed to throw it in for out of bounds, and she just looked around, didn't see anybody there. Put the ball under her arms like this, like a fullback.
Yeah.
And just start running down. Right, time out. And so they have to learn. And one of the things that took our girls, this is a long time, and probably you too, when the girls realize it's okay to make contact, it's okay to, you're going to bump into people, you're going to hit people, it's going to be all right.
We just spilled some coffee.
No, they can't see that. PJ, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of, of sports television, right?
Oh, you know what?
But once they realize that, it changes everything.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Because my daughter, my oldest one, once she realized that, wait, when I set a screen and people run into me, I can give them one of these, I can lean into it. Yeah. She began to have fun.
And you can tell which ones kind of naturally, lean into that and which ones don't.
That's the beauty of sports. It brings out your character there. Yeah. And you've got a full team, don't you?
We do. We've got 15 girls on the team. And so it's like hockey lines. I mean, and you can see like this is actually our roster.
I'm looking
from the last game, and it's just
I've got again the inside scoop here. Looking at that.
So we do whole. It's not one person at a time. Wholesale changes. All 5 out, 5 more in.
You do. You got the grind line. From back in the Red Wing days.
Yep.
And this afternoon, because is your season completed, or you got one more?
We have one more game next week that was like a reschedule because of
the weather. So this afternoon, the kids are playing the parents.
Yeah, this is like our family fun night.
It is the Parent Athlete Challenge. And I thought it would be fun to come into the gym. Because we're setting this stuff up, so we're going to set this stuff a little bit early.
Yep.
And have a little pregame.
Yeah.
Right? A little preview of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know, PJ, you had a real job before.
Yes, that's right.
You went into the ministry. Yeah. I don't know if that was the chosen job, but I've often thought to myself, if the Lord had not called me into the ministry, I may have landed in this spot right here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I may have been calling, doing sports somewhere. As much as I love sports, I could see that being there. So,
if there's a crossover between what you do now and a job outside the church, that might be it.
Right here. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we thought about calling the game actually, but then that brings in more cameras. That's a little bit beyond
It's
our
outside our scope.
capabilities.
Yeah.
And then you got, the sound becomes issues. And then we've got copyright issues.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if we would get
What's
the copyright.
what's the thing the college players have now? The NIL.
We have NIL,
We don't
we
want
have NIL concerns. It's just a lot of I's that we didn't want to dot, T's that we didn't want to cross. So we thought, you know what, we'll just do a pregame show. All right. So setting up here. Now, this is my question then.
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to scout the parents' team at all?
So here's how this
what's going on?
Here's
How
how
does this
Coach
work
Mike
out
is going to handle this.
Which, by the way, if I can, just
Yeah.
give a shout out. So Mike Cultus,
Yeah.
Mike and Heather joined the church a few years ago. So relatively
They've got,
speaking, newer
3
members.
little ones.
I want to thank Mike because I know what it is. You're the assistant. You're
Yep.
just kind of right. You're like the supporting actor.
That's right. Yep.
But knowing what it takes to kind of give up your time and
Oh
that,
yeah, absolutely.
huge shout out, not just to Mike, but all of our volunteer coaches
Yeah.
who really give up their time. So thank you. And Mike's a great guy.
It's a big deal. It's an impactful thing for the kids.
On a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Okay. If we were to ask Mike, hey Mike, come on, be a guest on our show, sit right here in the middle and talk. On a scale of 1 to 10 of Mike doing that, what would the number be?
Well, if there's anyone else in the Mike will not talk in front of people. He would rather do anything else. In fact, I don't know. Did I ever tell this follow up from baptizing Mike's kids?
Right. Yeah.
Right. I baptized Mike's 3 kids. We did all 3 kids together, and all the parent has to say at the baptism is the name of the children.
Sure.
And I didn't warn him ahead of time about that. And he was so upset with me that I made him do public speaking.
You just caught him off guard.
Yeah, because he had to say the name of his 3 children.
That qualifies.
Yeah, so he is not, but maybe because there's nobody else in the room right now. It's actually kind of weird, It
is. Yeah.
So we might be able to get him on.
So you're saying a 1?
It's a 1.
I know Mike doesn't like to talk in public and that, so I thought about asking. I should ask Mike.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna. He already does enough volunteers time. He doesn't need to sit around and goof around with us. But anyway, big shout out again, not just to Mike, but to all of our coaches who help out. We can do. And for me personally, I've always thought that athletics, not because I love sports, but because I really believe that athletics go a long way in helping our young people grow into mature adults.
Yeah.
It helps them socialize. It helps with things like teamwork and sacrifice and patience and hard work.
Yeah.
Not everything comes easy. Not everything's given to you.
Yep.
So I've always thought that team sports, especially for kids and especially for girls, having 2 daughters myself, I've always seen the benefit of that, but that can't happen without you guys out there volunteer coaching. So thank you for that. Yeah. All right. How does it set up with
okay, so it's so it's going to be well. I think what we'll try to do is when I'll send the girls out. Mike is going to be the referee.
Okay.
And he intends on refereeing a fair game, I think. But
so this
is difficult because anyway, 5th and 6th grade girls, they're not. I mean, but we have a short team. Okay, but short. I mean, like we got a lot of short girls. So we put some of these parents out there. Aaron Carroll is like 6'6".
That's my concern.
I mean, nobody can even reach the ball.
At what point are we getting into a Harlem Globetrotter
exactly
type situation?
So Mike is going to control the game fairly from the referee's position. So I think the intention is when we send the girl out, then their parent comes out and plays against them.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering how that worked out. Was it's kind of match up with that?
Yeah. So Charlie here will be going up against her dad.
Sure, because you're not going to stop Aaron Carroll. You can only hope to contain him.
Yeah.
And so let's see, who else do we have on there now? Harper. Right.
Oh,
Mrs. Johnson.
So Leah Johnson, our 8th grade teacher.
Yeah,
I think she's going to get out there.
Did she play it? Seward.
Yeah.
Concordia Seward. Big basketball school when I was back in the day when I was in college. So I don't know.
I don't think Leah played any sports into college, but I think she played through high school.
Okay, very good. And Paul, you know about him?
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's playing.
See, you got to be scouting. But you got to be scouting these people.
And he is an athlete. Yeah.
All right. So and then on your second line, who do we got there?
So Layla.
All right.
Actually, you know who I'm concerned with Layla? Kristen Fricky.
Yeah, that's right. And so for those who don't know, everybody's related to everybody here at the CTK. Right. Kristen grew up a Polka, right?
Right. Yep.
Right.
Polka,
so yes.
Yep. So I think that she
played
ball
back
a little
back
bit.
in the day.
I think so.
Right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So that's when you got.
We got the Ferdubinskis here.
Right.
Yeah. I'm not sure who of the Ferdubinskis are playing.
Now it's just the parents, right? It's not the siblings.
If we have siblings here, siblings can play.
Jacob ran these.
Oh, he would be very. I mean, he plays a GR right now,
yeah,
and he's
right.
good.
He ran these lanes back in the day.
Yep.
All right, so anybody else here? You really got you got to stop. So,
okay. So you put this says on our lineup here. It just says OJ. That's Olivia Johnson.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, boy, I didn't even think about this, but Scott Johnson.
Yeah, Scott's. Yeah, he's going to be. You got to keep him out of the lane.
He was just telling me that he played hockey growing up. He would be a force to be reckoned with. I think
you probably remember the Bad Boys, right?
The Pistons,
the Pistons,
from '88 or something.
Yeah, '88, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember Rick Mahorn?
No, I was not born yet.
That's kind of what you got.
But I know the historical.
And Olivia's dad.
Okay.
It's going to be a Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer type bruiser. He's going to be down.
Who were the Pistons from when I was? They were good again when I was a kid. 2005 or something.
2004.
What was their nickname?
So that was the
Fab Five or something. No, that's Michigan.
That's
right?
Michigan.
Yeah.
They were kind of called the Back to Work or the Work Boys. Or something about getting back. Something about getting back to work.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Ben Wallace.
Yeah. Rip Hamilton.
Chauncey.
Yep.
Chauncey Billups. Tayshaun. And then, of course, Rasheed. You had Rasheed Wallace and Ben Wallace back and forth. And they had like a work theme type deal. I remember because they just crushed. I think they beat the Lakers just kind of handily, if I remember right. I could be getting them mixed up with the other ones as well.
Just so everyone knows, I have stepped so far out of my lane here in sports references, but I think I'm handling it. Okay,
You've gone above and beyond. You've gone above and beyond.
I'm really delving into waters where I could say something that's completely ridiculous at this point.
So PJ and I, we're different generations. I'm quite a bit older than that. But are now working together. What's fun for the two of us is I've never thought this much about Hebrew until I started working with this guy.
Yeah.
And you probably have never thought so much about, sports and and the obscure movie references.
Yeah. That's right.
So you bring out the biblical in me. I just don't help you at all. It's just the culture. But anyway, no, this is awesome.
This is going to be so much fun. I'm looking forward.
This is just
a couple hours from now we'll be doing this.
But so it's not fixed, right? But even though it's not fixed,
no, it's not fixed. And I think how this works is the girls' baskets count for for double.
I cannot stress this enough. Please, no wagering. All right, we just we're not giving you any betting tips on this. This is not a gambling show. Right, the
not
church office, not a gambling podcast.
No.
There's no hammer, there's no lock, there's no predictions. It's there. So, all right. And the biggest thing that we're kind of hoping is that of the parents, that come out of this unscathed.
Nobody gets hurt. Yeah, that's the most important thing.
When my son, we did this. Okay, Joe, PJ, I can honestly say I think that might have been the last time that I actually ran full speed.
Really?
Full speed.
I've actually
exercised, maybe been on a treadmill kind of, but really went to sprint from one end to the other.
Yeah.
And basketball court's only 94 feet. I didn't make it from one end to the other. About halfway, I was like, nope, not going to do this anymore. No one's chasing me. My life's not in danger. I really don't need to guard that person on there.
Yeah.
So I just kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I stopped. I went to the bench, sat down. And my good friend Jim was sitting there, and he looked at me and goes, "You okay?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No." And that was the last time I ran full speed.
Well, when we I preached a sermon where I used an illustration from some pickup basketball.
Yes,
I was trying to guard Anthony Johnson. That was just right here. That was happening. And that night, actually, the same night, we started out playing full court, and it took like 3 possessions until everyone looked around and said,
"No, let's go.
We're going to switch to half court."
Yeah, let's go.
Because it was like
exactly that's what will happen.
I mean, you say only 94 feet, but it's a long 94 feet.
So long. It feels like 94 meters.
Yeah. Whatever that means.
All right. So great to catch up with you again. Thank you and I want to thank I really want to give a shout out to the kids who made Education Fair the success that it was.
Yeah.
Because Education Fair and the service last week does not happen without the effort of the students and the teachers as well. It was just fantastic. Our Lenten season began last night with Ash Wednesday.
Yeah, really nice services last night.
So, so on Wednesdays, we'll be gathering together for worship, 3:30, and at 7. and we hope that you
And
can
meal in
join.
between every week.
Oh, the meal
yeah,
in between.
meal in
is-
between.
Gina Davidson does a great job.
Yeah,
right?
that's another youth fundraiser. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And that helps them
Yep.
prepare for their trip to the National Youth Gathering coming up this summer.
Yep.
All right. Well, PJ, we've got to get the rest of the gym set up.
Yeah.
For the big game tonight. Thank you for joining our preview show / church office. We will see you next time.